Hello, everybody. Welcome to Yoga for Self-Love with Kim. I am Kim. This will be a short, gentle practice to open up the feet, the backs of the legs, which are part of the back chain of the body, and hopefully in turn to open up through the whole back body, get a little bit of release there. The back body is constantly working, constantly holding us up all day long, every day. So we'll give our back body a little bit of love today. You may see some cameo appearances by my dogs. Sunny's the white one, Gussie's the orange one. So get ready for that. You may want a couple of blocks for the practice today, or a blanket, something to sit up on. So gather your things and come join me on the mat. Bring yourself into a comfortable seated position. Again, if you like, sit up on something, find a nice upright alignment through the spine. Bring the pelvis into a neutral position so you're not rolling back through the pelvis or tipping the pelvis forward. Just finding that neutral pelvis. Root down through the sitting bones, the pubic bone, the feet, the legs. Let all of that get heavy. Wiggle the sides of the body long. Find some space up through the spine, up and out through the crown of your head. And then close your eyes. We'll pause here for a minute, stop before we get started. And just take a moment here with the eyes closed to allow yourself to relax, to begin to turn inward. Let go of the outer world, of all of that external stimulation, and see what's happening inside of you. Where are you at today? As always, I invite you to bring in the intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, compassionate with yourself. Show yourself some love, some care. For these next 15-20 minutes, there is nothing else that you need to do. You can let go of all of it. Put down your burdens. There's nothing that you need to figure out, strive for, accomplish. Just take this time for you, for your yoga practice, your sacred space with yourself. And begin to send your awareness through your body. Give your body permission to relax. Relaxing through the feet, legs, hips and pelvis, buttocks and belly, front of the body, back of the body. Relax through the rib cage, the chest, the collarbones, shoulders and arms, hands and fingers. Relax your throat, your neck, your jaw. Relax your tongue, your face, your eyes, your eyebrows, forehead and scalp, the crown of the head. And begin to tune into your breath. Just noticing the ebb and flow of the breath. Expansion of the belly, the rib cage on the inhalation, and that drawing back in towards center, the belly, the rib cage on the exhalation. Just notice how your breath feels. A few nice, deep, smooth breaths here. And then slowly begin to flutter your eyes open, but keep the gaze soft. Keep the jaw, the face relaxed. And then we'll extend the left leg out in front. Bend that right knee. Pick up that right leg and cross it over that left thigh. You can take the right hand to rest on the right thigh or knee or shin. Then take your left hand to your right foot. Begin to roll the ankle around, the foot around. A few circles. Getting to loosen through the ankle. And then slowly switch the direction of your circles here. Roll the foot around the other direction. And bring your foot back to center. And now either bring that foot in a little bit closer to you. If this is just not working for you, you can put this right leg down on the floor. That may be a little easier. Give yourself a little foot massage here. So open up through the bottoms of the feet. So take your thumbs to the center of your heel and begin to gently massage the heel. And then slowly work your thumbs up the center of your foot all the way up to the toes. And then bring your thumbs back down to the heel and then over towards the outer edges of your foot, and then begin to slowly massage the thumbs up the outer edges of the foot back up to the toes. And you can massage the toes, wiggle the toes around. And then just take another moment or two here, seeing what feels good. If you find any spots that feel like they need a little bit more attention, feel free to focus there. And then release that. Send the right leg out. We'll bend the left knee, cross that left ankle, cross that right thigh now. Left hand can rest on the left thigh or knee or shin. Take your right hand to the left foot, grab a hold, and then again roll this ankle around in a few circles. And then switch the direction of your circles. Bring your ankle back to center and then draw that foot in a little bit closer to you. Or again, if you need to, bring that foot down to rest on the floor. Take your thumbs to the center of your heel, begin to massage there. And then slowly work your thumbs up the center of your foot. Bring your thumbs back down to the bottom of the foot heel area. And now take the thumbs, massage along the outer edges of your foot and all the way back up towards the toes. You can massage the toes, maybe in between the toes. And just another moment here, finding any spots need a little extra love. And give them a little massage. And then release that foot out. So both legs extended out in front of you. Pelvis in neutral position here. So again, you could still be sitting up on something. Take the fingers around underneath your shoulders. Press down into your heels. So you could have a big or little bend in the knees here if the hamstrings are feeling tight or short. Press down into the heels. Press down into your fingers. Sit up nice and tall. Draw the toes back towards you. And then just bounce the legs out. And then come over on to your hands and knees now onto your mat. You could take some padding underneath the knees if you have a blanket or a towel. You could put that down underneath the knees if you like little padding. We'll come on to the hands and knees, finding our table position. And now tuck your toes under and begin to bring your bum back towards your heels and walk your hands back. You can either keep your hands down on the mat, because this can start to feel pretty intense pretty quickly, or if it feels okay, You can take it a little bit further. Begin to walk your hands up your thighs. Come back up to sit on your heels. Keep the heels hugging in towards each other. And keep breathing. And then we'll walk the hands back out. Untuck your toes. Come back to sit on your heels. Now take the hands around behind you. Begin to lean back. And if it feels okay, lift the knees up a little bit. Let's get a little opening through the front of the ankles. We'll take the hands forward. Come back into your table. Again, tuck the toes under behind you. Bum back to the heels and begin to walk yourself back, either keeping fingers down on the mat or again walking the hands up to rest on the thighs. Hug the heels in towards each other. And then release. Hands come back down to the mat. You come back to sit on the feet. Tops of the feet pressing down into the mat. Now walk the hands back. Lean back. Maybe lift up the knees. We'll do it one more time. Bring it forward into your table. Tuck toes under. Slowly walk yourself back. Your version here, hands on the mat or hands on thighs. And then slowly bring it back down. Hands come back to the mat. You untuck the toes. Come back to sit on your feet. Hands around behind you. Lean it back. Maybe lift up the knees. And then let's bring it forward into our table. Now extend your right leg back behind you. Point the toes, flex the ankle, point, flex a few times. And now we'll drop the ball of the right foot down to the mat, press into the hands, and press back through that right heel. And then release that right knee down to the mat. Now extend your left leg back, hip level-ish. Point the toes, flex the ankle, point, flex, point, flex. And now drop ball of the left foot down to the mat. Press into the hands. Press out through that left heel. And then release that left foot down to the mat. Extend the right leg back out behind you, hip level-ish again. Now we'll take the right foot over towards the left side. So the foot will come off the mat. Now come onto the ball of that right foot. Again, press down into the hands, out through that right heel. And then bring that right leg back to center. One more time, drop ball of the foot down to the mat behind you. Press out through the heel, release that right knee down to the mat. Extend the left leg back, hip level-ish. Now let's take that left foot over off the right side of the mat. Drop the ball of that left foot down, press into the hands and out through that left heel. Feel it through the leg, also through the side body. And then bring that left leg back to center. Again, drop that ball of the foot down to the mat, press into the hands out through that heel. And then release. Send that right leg back, hip level-ish. And this time we'll bend the right knee. Draw it in towards the chest. Begin to press into the hands, round up through the back. And then step or carry that right foot up to the top of the mat. We'll take it into a low lunge, but tuck the left toes under behind you. Press down into your feet. Begin to lift your heart up. Take your hands to rest on that right thigh. Hug that right hip back a little bit. Left hip forward a little bit as you square the hips off towards the top of your mat. And then release hands down. You can untuck the back toes. Step that right foot back into your table. We'll extend that left leg back. Now bend that left knee, draw it in towards the nose, chest, forehead. Press into the hands, round up through the back. Step or carry that left foot up towards that left thumb. Tuck your right toes under now. Press down into the feet. Lift up through the belly, lift the heart, bring the hands to that left thigh. Left hip pulls back, right hip forward, tiny bit. Press down into the feet. And then release. Hands down to the mat. Bring it back into your table. And now grab your blocks. You might want them. And just have them along the sides of the mat here. Hands come down to the mat. Extend that right leg back. Bend that right knee. Bring it in. Nose, chest, forehead. Step that right foot up top of your mat. And then this time we'll, for the moment, leave the back toes untucked. Press down into your feet. Lift up through your belly. Hands to that front thigh. Low lunge. And now hands to the blocks. Tuck the left toes under. Slowly begin to bring your bum back to your heels. Roll up onto that right heel. Pull the right toes towards your face. Press down into that right heel. Down into that left knee, left foot. Begin to activate through the back of that right leg. And then we'll walk it forward. Untuck the back toes, hands come back to that right thigh, and you come back up into low lunge. And then bring the hands down to the mat, step back into your table. Other side, left leg back. Bend that left knee. Draw it in towards the chest, round up through the back, step that left foot up top of your mat. Press into the feet, lift yourself up, hands come back to that left thigh. Press down into the thigh, lengthen up through the crown of the head. And now release hands to your blocks or to the mat. If you don't want to use the blocks, that's fine. Tuck your back toes under. Begin to slowly draw your bum back. You can walk the blocks back with you. Roll up onto that left heel. Pull the left toes back towards you. Press down into that left heel. Down into that right foot, right knee. And then release. Walk yourself forward, untuck back toes, come into that low lunge. Into your table now. We'll take it into a downward dog, tuck the toes under, root down into the finger pads, glide your hips up and back, downward dog. Start with a generous bend in your knees. Begin to pedal out your legs. Roll up onto balls of feet, tippy toes, and then press your heels towards the mat. Rolling up again, balls of feet, tippy toes, press heels to the mat. One more time, roll it up, balls of the feet, tippy toes, press your heels towards the mat. Now bend your knees, crouch yourself down, tiger dog. Glide your hips up to down dog. Bend the knees, crouch down. Glide the hips up. Bend the knees, crouch it down. Glide the hips up, downward dog. And now slowly walk or crawl. Find your way up to the top of your mat. We'll take it into a forward fold. Big or little bend in your knees here. Fold from your hips. Bring your belly to your thighs. Hands can come to the mat or grab opposite elbows. You can shift the hips. Sway yourself side to side if you like. Maybe sway arms as well. Bring yourself to center. Grab hold of the blocks here if you like. Take the blocks underneath your hands or just bring your hands down to the mat. Still in your forward fold here. Let's bend the knees a lot. And then press the hips up. Fold yourself in. Let the head go. Again, bend the knees a lot. And then fold yourself back in. Press the hips up. Let the head go. Relax through the neck. One more time, bend your knees a lot. And then fold yourself in, belly to thighs. Soften the knees, take hands to your hips, press into your feet, come all the way up to stand. Now we'll step the right foot back, about a leg's length or so, but you can make a shorter stance if that feels better for you. We'll take it into a warrior one now. Bend that left knee. Press down into that right foot. Make sure that right knee feels good. If not, adjust. Step that back foot in. Maybe open up that right hip just a little bit. Rib cage up towards the front of the mat. Keep the hands on the hips, and then we'll straighten that left leg. Again, bend the left knee. Straighten that left leg. Bend the knee. A couple times, you bend and straighten that left knee. And then step right foot up top of the mat. We'll switch it over to the other side. Now step that left foot back, heel back. Begin to bend that right knee, coming into a warrior one. Right hip hugging back, left hip hugging forward. But again, being very cautious, making sure that back knee feels comfortable. And then we'll straighten the right knee, bend the right knee. Straighten the right knee and bend. Couple more times, straightening, bending that right knee. Keep rooting down through that left heel. And then step that left foot up top of the mat. Now let's take the right foot back, coming into our warrior one again. Your blocks up at the top of the mat, maybe on the high height. We'll bend that left knee, coming into our warrior one. Then slowly bring your hands forward to the tops of the blocks. Begin to shift your weight forward into that front leg. And then lift that right leg up and back behind you, coming into a warrior three, hands on blocks. Point the right toes, flex that right ankle a few times. Point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. And then right foot steps back again, root down through that right heel, bend that left knee, hands come back to the hips. And then step right foot forward. Other side, left foot steps back, warrior one, rooting down into that left heel, bend that right knee. Rib cage facing up towards the top of the mat. Slowly we take it forward, hands move to the blocks, weight travels into that right foot. Begin to lift up through the belly, send that left leg up and back. Warrior three on the other side, hands on blocks. Point the left toes, flex that left ankle. Point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. Step that left foot back to the mat. Bend that right knee. And now step that left foot forward. We'll add on a standing split here on each side, and then we'll take it back down to the mat to cool down. Right foot steps back, bend the left knee, back through your warrior one. And now we take hands either to the blocks or down to the mat. Weight into that left foot, left leg. This time begin to fold yourself in over that left leg, draw your nose down towards that left knee, send that right leg up and back behind you. And then slowly, 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 right foot steps back to the mat. Press into your feet, lift up, pelvic floor, belly, hands to hips, bend the left knee back through your warrior one. And then step that right foot forward, other side, left foot back. Bend the right knee, square off the hips, gentle on the back knee. And we take it forward, hands to blocks or hands down to the mat. Weight into that right foot. Fold in over that right leg. Bring that nose towards the right knee. Send that left leg up and back behind you. And then slowly, slowly step the left foot back to the mat. Bend that right knee back into your warrior one. Step left foot up. Let's sweep the arms out to the sides and up. Palms come together overhead. Soften the knees, hinge from your hips and fold yourself back in. Ragdoll forward fold. Again, let's bend the knees a lot. And then send the hips up and back as you fold in. Bend the knees. And then fold it back in over the legs, head drops. And now turn your feet out at a little bit of an angle. Toes out, knees pointing in the same direction, and slowly lower your bum all the way down. Come into a squat pose. Take your hands around behind you and then slowly lower your bum all the way down to the mat. Fingers behind you, underneath the shoulders. Press down into the fingers, down into the heels. Pull the toes back towards you. Now bring a big or little bend into your knees. Begin to hinge from your hips. Fold forward, so you're not taking it in the back. You're folding from the hips. Hands to the feet or the mat or the shins. Reach your heart forward towards the toes. And then bring yourself back up. Find your way into Savasana. Send the legs out. Down to the corners of the mat. Arms out to the side. Little space in between the armpits. And relax. Let it all go. All effort. Let your body melt down into the earth. The bottoms of the feet relaxing, releasing the backs of the legs. Let the back body get heavy. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Connect back in. How are you feeling now? Come back to our intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, and compassionate with ourselves. Turn up the corners of your lips into a smile. Thank yourself for showing up for your practice today, for showing up for yourself, for being on your own side. You are awesome. You are loved. Release the hands. Begin to bring movement in, wiggling fingers and toes. Now reach the arms up overhead, bring the legs together. Reach out through the whole body. Relax everything again, and then slowly roll yourself over to one side. Pause here. And then slowly press yourself up. Come back into a seated position. And bring palms together at your heart. May you feel safe. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you live with ease. May your heart be open to love and compassion, and may you know joy. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. With love and gratitude, namaste.